Well, it started out as I was just beginning to write, and I just that driving beat that you hear in the piece, and it just made me think of the streets here and the people, and it's like division, but it goes deeper than just divisions. I mean, just the street division. It's called the divisions in life that we have. The sun rises on another day, on the highway they call division. Cars, buses rumble by as they see the state of the people there. Division.
Well, this whole video project kind of fits into the larger arts program that's been part of Heartside Ministry for, well, ever since Ruth and I started working here more than 8 years, almost 8 years ago, I guess. We thought early on that it's not so much fun doing programming around people's problems and the difficult issues in people's lives. I mean, that's important, and people need to have help with particular problems, but beyond that, if we were going to do education and in a broader sense, it seemed like it was important to focus on what people could do and what people like to do. So art was just a natural.
Typically, we think of a population living in a neighborhood like Heartside as being very needy people with nothing to offer, and that's just not true. There are so many gifts and talents in this neighborhood and so many wonderful people with so much to offer that our mission statement over the years has really come to mean partnerships with those neighbors in performing arts, in education, and in spiritual direction, in all kinds of ways to enhance people's gifts. And art has been a wonderful way to do that. This is a neighborhood with huge talent artistically, both in performing arts as well as the painting and drawing and that kind of thing. So it's been a great way to affirm people's gifts.
Art has always been down here, but nobody had an outlet. And I think that's what Heartside Ministry has done, has brought people together and showed them that, that art is in every one of us, And I think that's what it is. And then getting together, and then you can come in here and play the piano or play the guitar or something, and somebody else will come along and it's just, I think it's just like a gathering place.
I bring my music down to Heartside to share with people. And again, for people to walk away knowing, that they've been entertained and they walk away with a good feeling. So that right there is a reward within itself for me. I really love what they're doing here because it's an outlet in so many avenues for different artists, be it they're musical artists or be it that they're painters or whatever kind of expression they have to bring to the table. This place is a great outlet for all kinds of artistical people.
Well, I serve as outreach pastor for the Heartside neighborhood, and a huge part of that, my responsibilities, is building relationships with neighbors. I also love the arts, all different kinds of arts, and many of the Heartside neighbors are artists, and so I have quite a bit of involvement with certain art projects that happen, such as the Heartside Arts Festival, the annual Performing Arts Festival, for people to display their gifts for the greater community. You know, we see on a day-to-day basis here in the Heartside Ministry how people demonstrate the gifts that they've been blessed with, and but we like the idea of being able to bring the awareness to the community that there are people in this neighborhood that they have gifts, and here's an opportunity to witness that.
I try to be simplistic, like our Lord was with the Psalms. And by being simplistic, first of all, a person can understand what I'm saying. And another thing, I always try to talk about something that would affect the human interest side of myself. And so others can reflect on the experiences that I put upon paper. As I reach within my very soul, God is the galaxy who rules all the galaxies of my mind. Fear doth not touch me anymore. I can touch and explore these galaxies, ports untouched or felt by the humanness of me.
This is called expulsion. Lost in a howling wilderness, roaring the sandstorm, the black darkness billowing, clouds reaching endless columns like smoke, endless columns of sand. Night like a beast in rage, howling anger like fierce lightning. Sand in the mouth, the endless drought, in the shadow of the rocks, seeking shelter in the shadow of the rocks from a barren world of sand. She said, I hate you, her hair in the wind, crying, even in the anger a caress, falling under the shadow of a dead withered tree. Water I want, water to drink, the apparition of the tiger, snarling, growling, fangs white, crouching redemptive over the mangled body of a white horse. Furrowing sand, the brown constrictor, slithering muscular, the memory of the snake. I have broken the wing of the west wind, so we must wander from the beginning of time, westward, the owl screeching, a shattered skull on the ground, a broken bow beside it, while voices taunt, I am death, I have the mastery. And so they raised a stone and lamented, remembering his memory, remembering the serpent and the plant at the bottom of the pool. White towers failing to stop the ground opening in bloody mouths, footsteps wandering, hiding in caves of the earth. Let's go out to the field. Barren thistles, cacti, on the horizon, a thorny tree.
I get a lot of experiences from the Heartside area, from different people, different cultures, and different way of life, you know. Heartside down here is a different way of life than we would have in neighborhood of Royal Oak or whatever, you know. It's a life of people in different hardships, striving and struggling together, you know. 6 people trapped in dark and bitter cold. Each has a stick of wood, so my story's told. The first lady around the dying fire, she held hers back, because she noticed around that fire, one face was black. The next man, he saw none of his church. He could not give that fire his stick of birch. The rich man stepped back and thought of all the wealth he had in store, and how he had kept it from the lazy, shiftless, and poor. Now the poor man, he gave his tattered clothes a hitch. He thought, why should I use my damn stick to warm the idle rich? Now the black man face bespoke revenge as the fire passed from his sight, for all he seen in stick of wood was a chance to spite the white. Now the last man of this fallen group, he did nothing, nothing except for gain. Giving only to those who gave was how he played the game. The sticks held tight in death's still hands was proof of human sin. They didn't die from the cold without, they died from the cold within. John 15:12. My commandment is this, that you love each other as I have loved you.
There's a lot more interaction here than in neighborhoods I've been in before. There's a lot more doing things together, just a lot more seeing of other people. In other neighborhoods, I'm in a house, I'm with the people in my house. Maybe I'll see someone and wave to them on the sidewalk, but here there's a lot of different activities that people are involved in together.
Little baby bird embryo, pecking at the inside of the shell. Shall I get out or shall I stay in? And then the crack begins.
Well, Little Bird, the song that I did, a little bit in the sense of coming out of my shell and trying to explore and having big thoughts about how big I would be. You know, I'm going to be this big artist, this big writer, this big film producer, whatever, and then getting out and I don't even know how to fly, so I just fall down to the ground.
Oops delicious, oops delicious, oops delicious. Follow me, follow me, follow. Oops delicious, oops delicious, oops delicious.
They often teach me about myself later on. I'll write a song and then later realize, oh, that was talking about this part of my life that is evolving in this sort of way, and it's kind of a learning experience.
Well, in actuality, right now, you know, I do a lot of music, and the music I do, I kind of like to put my own flavors into it, you know. And one of my songs that I rearranged is Summertime, which is nice, but the one I did on the video was Falling into Fall, you know. And I think it opens really nice, and then it has its own flavor, and the tempo changes and things of this nature, you know. So it keeps the music interesting, I think. I'm working on some Duke Ellington now, you know, which is old classical of the 30s and 40s and stuff of this nature. And I intend to take this out to the Grand Rapids Home for Veterans and do some entertaining out there for the old soldiers of World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and Kuwait, and those eras, you know, and just pepper the music, you know, the classical, the blues, do rock and roll, a little country even. Glenn and Ruth and James, Pastor James, you know, and Pastor Barb Package, you know, those people have all been influences to me. If I had issues where I was in a kind of like a depressed state of mind, you know, because I do go through those moments, you know, being a veteran and stuff like this here, I have someone to come to and to talk to and to get opinions from, to give me something to think about rather than my own personal opinion, which helps me to move forward rather than to become dormant. You know, so I have a lot of good things to say about down here, you know, and I appreciate, it's a God-sent blessing, really. You know, not just for me, but for a whole lot of people in this area, you know, and some of the people, you know, is gonna do something and make changes in their lives, you know, and this is my, this is what I'm striving for, is to make a positive change in my life and to try to be a positive influence towards others.
One thing that I knew I had to do when I found myself in this situation down here is to do something positive to balance it out. And so I looked around for any kind of creative thing, and of course you guys were a big help because there was the art shows. In fact, any kind of creative contribution you want to make, you know, this whole neighborhood or this whole situation is open to it, especially you guys. It's the perfect place to go for somebody like me, because when I realized, you know, well, there's not just a bunch of people walking around here not doing anything, you know, and to find that, I was just really, really surprised. And the newspaper, the outlet, the art shows, and all the little things that we've done over the years, you know, the little shows and things like that were much better than I thought they'd be. But I suspect that a lot of neighborhoods like this don't have what you people bring to the neighborhood. I don't have an experience like this in any other neighborhoods, but I got a suspicion that this is the Heartside Ministries and Heartside Education, all that stuff. I don't think other neighborhoods have got that.
Well, it's a picture perfect morning on the mantle of your soul, and you're walking and you're wondering where to stay and where to go. Down the sidewalks, past the alleys, and the drifters and the freaks. Some regard you with suspicion, and some hardly even speak. And the sun is shining shadows on the solid and the lame. Well, you might think that you're all different, but you're really all the same. So it's alright. It's alright. It's all wrong, but it's your life, so it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's all wrong, but it's your life.
This thing I did, you know, on the tape was pretty much a statement about the neighborhood. But it was written for that reason. Living in this area has given me a perspective. It's a part of life that I never thought I would be a part of. And it has given me a certain distance and a certain perspective. And, you know, maybe that is why my writing's better. I don't know. Maybe I don't admit it. Maybe I don't recognize. I would admit, but I don't. Maybe I don't recognize.
Even you know that your future stands behind you, wearing in the image clothes. It's alright. Yes, it's alright. It's all wrong, but it's your life, so it's alright. Well, if sleep don't come too easy, you can always count the stars. And if your stomach gets too queasy from too many redneck bars, you can count your missing chances and your many misplaced dreams. But don't let your thoughts get too fancy. You know exactly what that means. There's just one thing to remember when you think you just can't stand it. God's still cooking in the kitchen and you got credit with more hammers. So it's alright. It's alright. It's all wrong, but it's your life. So it's alright. It's alright. Yes, it's alright. It's all wrong, but it's your life, so it's all right.
Some people have come from careers. Some people have never had them, but could with the right breaks. And they're the cream of the crop in terms of just analyzing abilities and gifts. So that's the one end, but the other end of the range is people who've never seen themselves as an artist, performer or otherwise, but get a chance with the right encouragement and the right support to do so. And they're never going to make money at it, but it's certainly a self-esteem builder and a community builder that, hey, I can do this as part of the Heartside neighborhood. I'm not going to buy the stereotype that I'm just a problem to the Grand Rapids community or that I'm a drain on the resources of this community. I need some help to get back on my feet, but I can also contribute, and I'm going to contribute through art.
Poetry gives me a great release. It helps me. Like I told somebody earlier today, my poetry is about people that have been in my life in one way or the other, that have touched my life in some way. And it's also a really good way to vent. Like, I've written poems about family members that I've lost. It's helped me get it out and helped me deal with it. And I think it's just a great way to express yourself. There's so many neat things that you can do with words. It's been such a long time since I've seen you smile. I wish I could make it go away, if only for a little while. I'd like to hold you and ease some of your pain. Or tell me, what can I do to ease some of your strain? Because it tears me up inside to see you so blue. Please remember, I'll always be there for you. And never, ever forget, I'll always be your friend.
This is called Suddenly as a Morning Mist. A flash of light, one drop of water in dry soil, the morning mist of your breath, a minute of your time. All of these disappear suddenly. Suddenly as a blink, or a touch, maybe a breath, this next second be your last, then death. Death eternally or life eternally, it is your choice. Choose this minute, Jesus Christ, and see your sins disappear as the morning mist. Return to me, for I have redeemed you.
It's been surprising. It's been surprising to see individuals that you would never thought that could sing or do poetry or dance or do anything. This person can do this. This person has this gift. If it's drawing or if it's playing an instrument, sharing with the community around you, and in yourself rising your own self-esteem. So I think that's what I've seen around here. A lot of self-esteem go through the roof. We just had the picnic a couple of weeks ago, and in Georgetta, and she was feeling really bad. She said she was just feeling really bad. You know, she was just sitting there, and she said as I began to sing, my arrangements of gospel tunes that I had. That I was performing, she said she just felt better. She said, I feel like I have strength. So, the power of another person touching another person, I think that's the power of art.
I said I'm walking with my baby on a Saturday night. feeling kinda groovy, everything's alright. She turns to me, we kiss, and then I hold her tight. And I love the way she makes that move, because she really makes it nice and smooth. I wanna bop to the music when I hear a sigh. Wanna have my cake while I eat my pie. And I love it, pretty baby, when it's you and I. And I love the way she makes that move, because she really makes it nice and smooth.
Being associated with the ministry and with the Heartside area, it has allowed me to practice. And there's facilities, and it's allowed me to be around people who are trying to do something artistic. As far as my career, I hope to take it as far as I can take it, as far as the good Lord will let me take it. I want to take it as far as He wants me to take it and no further, but definitely no less.
I said I'm walking with my baby on a Saturday night, feeling kinda groovy, everything's alright. She turns to me, we kiss, and then I hold her tight. And I love the way she makes that move, because she really makes it nice and smooth. I wanna bop to the music when I hear a sigh. Wanna have my cake while I eat my pie. And I love it, pretty baby, when it's you and I. And I love the way she makes that move, because she really makes it nice and smooth. She's got a hip shooby-dooby with a diddly-dat. No, I got good lovin', she knows where it's at. She's got a Coke bottle shape with just an ounce of fat. And I love the way she makes that move, because she really makes it nice and smooth. I said I love the way she makes that move, because she really makes it nice and smooth.
We're looking for other ways to sustain what's been going on. I think one of the next steps will be in the renovation process that's now going to be finished at the end of this year. There will be a hot studio downstairs at the ministry that will enable neighbors to perform on radio or on cable TV through the Community Media Center. We'll continue the annual shows in the spring, the stage shows, and I'm hoping we also then have the capacity to make more videos, our own, made by Heartsiders who have the skills in video production. And we'll be able to tell stories of individual artists, maybe some particular profiles, and who knows where it'll go beyond that.
Beautiful sunset, division, 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 division.